Who are you? What's your role? And who do you work for?
I'm James Wilson. I'm Vice President of Engineering for NOps, and NOps is a fully automated FinOps platform that focuses on Kubernetes optimization.
What are 3 emerging Kubernetes tools that you're keeping an eye on?
Definitely Karpenter, number one. We're actually announcing our fully hosted Karpenter education series here, which is something that we're giving as a service to CNCF. I think that another one that we're keeping an eye on is Kepler. I think we're really interested in sustainability and how it integrates with other frameworks. So the third one that I'm looking at, which is not new, but I think has a lot of interesting new development, is VPA. And I think that the integrations between Kepler and VPA, Kepler and Karpenter and VPA really bring us into a world where we're going to be talking about auto-scaling at a multi-dimensional level.
Autoscaling. One of our guests, Ghazal, prefers Karpenter over Cluster Autoscaler for cluster autoscaling,
right,
highlighting its benefits and reliability. In particular, Ghazal and his team use Karpenter to consolidate workloads and save around 40% of their cloud bill. Karpenter was also donated from AWS to the Kubernetes project. How do you think this will shape the future of autoscaling in Kubernetes?
Well, I think that the Cloud Native Foundation and Kubernetes project taking control over Karpenter is such a big advancement, because we're going to see an increase in momentum of adoption of Karpenter across different public clouds, but also there are a lot of organizations who are looking at new ways to integrate, as I said, different frameworks with Karpenter. So it's going to open a lot of innovation in the area to start to look at auto-scaling at both the container and infrastructure level, because they're so interrelated, and I think that's the future of auto-scaling, along with the topic of AI. And so, there's so much work going on in AI-based modeling around workloads, and the ability to integrate that work at a certain point with your auto-scaling frameworks is really only possible if the open source community is driving the car.
On the subject of platform engineering and people, one of our guests, Ori, shared that rushing into solutions without understanding the root cause can lead to fixing symptoms instead of the actual problem.
Right.
He mentioned the case of network policies and how sometimes the root cause of a problem is a people problem, and the solution lies in addressing that. What is your experience with providing tooling and platforms on Kubernetes to other engineers? What are some of the soft challenges that you faced?
Sure. Well, we deal with this a lot at NOps. And I think that the first soft challenge that we think about is organizational priorities. For instance, cost management is often a punitive exercise. Engineers are not dealing with optimizing for cost or efficiency until somebody in the finance team is mad at them. So if we set the priorities at the organizational level, it really gives engineers the ability to manage towards KPIs, which is a thing that the engineers are really good at. If we're only focused on security and reliability, then operational efficiency and actual costs are never going to be a priority.
On the subject of cost optimization and ARM instances, Miguel shared that Adevinta migrated their Kubernetes cluster to support ARM instances and workloads because they are more cost effective. Do you have any practical advice on reducing your Kubernetes costs?
I have lots of practical advice on reducing Kubernetes costs. I mean, it's really our subject expertise area over here at NOps. Oftentimes in a greenfield environment, we want to start from the bottom up. So we want to start optimizing at the container level, the lowest level, and then we want to start moving our way up, making sure that our infrastructure utilization is tuned to get the most out of our infrastructure capacity, and then we want to start optimizing for price. In actuality, though, most organizations don't have the flexibility to start from a greenfield situation. So my advice is to prioritize based on impact. A lot of times, price optimization, meaning that shifting some workloads to spot capacity, using spot best practices, may be a quicker win than trying to re-architect workloads at a lower level. So I say go for the biggest impact with the lowest amount of effort and make the process continuous. Come back around and figure out what the next biggest priority is and attack that and always start with visibility. You can't fix if you don't know what the problem is.
Kubernetes turned 10 years old this year. What should we expect in the next 10 years to come?
Oh, I think we should expect a lot. So we have a lot of data, and one thing that I can tell you is that we're at the precipice of Kubernetes, at least in AWS, which is a pretty huge slice of the pie, being the biggest compute provisioner, meaning the biggest cost center for the entire cloud. And I think cloud native, well, we all in the cloud native community think of it as something that we've been doing for years. There's still a lot of organizations that are on that journey. We're going to start to see AI taking the driver's seat in the area of Kubernetes optimization, and I think that talking about both sustainability and cost optimization in the same conversation, getting very multi-dimensional in how we tune our clusters. And then on the horizon, I think we're going to be talking much more about geo-shaping workloads and time-shaping workloads so that we can run our workloads in any data center, any availability zone in the world at any time based on AI-driven decisions that help us to orchestrate things across clusters.
What's next for you?
I'm staying in this space. I mean, Kubernetes optimization is sort of my jam. I think that we're going to be looking at multi-dimensional autoscaling as kind of the next frontier, and really big integration between pod autoscaling, both at a horizontal and vertical level, and how we can use AI to make those decisions in real time.
How can people get in touch with you?
Oh, you can find me. It's very easy. Go to nops.io. It's our product website, or it's really easy to find me, James at nops.io.